The original Israelites were not a black people group as a whole. They were not. There's no evidence on that subject whatsoever.
And Canaanites are therefore Africans or melanin-dominant human beings. They do not look like this. But what we want to look at now is where did this one come from? It's very clear that they are fake Canaanites. The original Canaanite, melanin-dominant sheikh in Palestinian village 1895 looked like this, and all these, including Yasser Arafat, including all these Khalid, Rashid Khalid, they are all fake Canaanites, including also Benjamin Netanyahu and the modern people or Europeans in the current country called Israel. They are all foreigners. They are fighting each other and in our own land, fighting for our own land. Here, there are only two Canaanites, him and this one is the only true original indigenous Arab and also indigenous Canaanite. These are all fake Canaanites. The true Canaanites are the Natufians. According to M.R. Imhotep, the Natufians were the original inhabitants of the Levant and the Fertile Crescent according to their DNA E1b1 haplogroup, which is the main haplogroup of Africans. Canaanite for real.
Rather, they were essentially a white, brown people group, just as modern Bedouin Arabs are, or modern Yemenite Jews, or Samaritan Israelites, those of which who never left the land of Israel. They've been there for over 3,000 years. So, they saw who left and who came back. They are actual Israelites.
Have you ever thought about it? That the British, who were the saviors of Europe, allowed ships to be filled with Jewish hopefuls who wanted to emigrate to the West, how they wouldn't let those ships pass by, and how eventually they were all herded towards Palestine, and the Jews had to settle in a land that had nothing. Well, it's interesting. You have to create a national identity. You have to create national heroes. And we talked about in previous lectures. I don't want to go into it. And eventually, what did they end up? They ended up the leaders of the nations. And a new nationality arose, and a new nationalistic, Zionistic pride arose, and the nation arose. I feel sorry for them.
European Jews cannot be real Jews because they are known as Ashkenazi. You hear this all the time because they're not educated.
Let's look at what scientists have discovered. Israeli-born geneticist believes the Turkish villages of Ashkenaz, and Ashnaz were part of the original home of Ashkenazic Jews. Dr. Eli Haik says it is the largest genomic study ever, and it was published in the UK Scientific Journal Genome, Biology and Evolution. The origins of Ashkenazic Jews and Yiddish. More DNA tests which were done, and applying other studies like GPS to a cohort exclusively Yiddish-speaking and multilingual Ashkenazic Jews proved that they came from Turkey. Some also come and say the Jews are a race, but which race, how old? And then science and their DNA locks them to that period of 8,000 years BCE. There are others that have studied this and gone into it, and we are showing them here. In our previous work, that's what they say, we have identified ancient Ashkenaz, a region northeast of Turkey that harbors 4 primeval villages whose names resembles Ashkenaz. Here, we elaborate on the meaning of this term and argue that it acquired its modern meaning only after a critical mass of Ashkenazic Jews arrived in Germany. We show that all biolocalization analyses have localized Ashkenazic Jews to Turkey, and that the non-Levantine origins of Ashkenazic Jews are supported by ancient genome analysis. This is very important. Overall, these findings are compatible with the hypothesis of an Irano-Turco-Slavic origin, Iran, Turkey, and Slavic origin of Ashkenazic Jews, and a Slavic origin of Yiddish, and contradict the predictions of Rhineland hypothesis that lacks historical a genetic and linguistic support. There is more evidence for you. There are the people, the Ashkenaz. There are these 3 books that we recommend after many years of research, studies. These scholars, Arthur Koestler, The Faith in the Tribe, you have to read it, which proves that the modern majority of Jews or people claiming to be Jews or Hebrews or Israelites, 90% of them come from Khazaria, the Volga region here. This book, very important. DNA science and the Jewish bloodline. Although there's a lot of Christian stuff in this book by Texamas, it's a good book. And also this one, again, Shlomo Sandy, The Invasion of the Jewish People, is a very good book. So this settles that question. The question now remains, what about the Hebrew Israelites, Sephardic, Falashas, Igbos, Lambas? Where do they fit in this scheme? We will deal with these groups thoroughly in future posts. Suffice to summarize a little here that the Lemba, their DNA proves that they are a Bantu tribe. They could not be anything in this issue. The original, if ever there was one, a Jew, began not as a Semite in Palestine, but as a black African tribe worshipping Elu in Africa's Nile Valley. Elu is the African origin of the words Jew, Judah, and Judaism. Elu was the name of the goddess or god.
Again, Ashkenazi is German. It means Germany. In other words,
Got it!
Again, this is a game. This is a game that's being played with our scripture, with actual history.
Archaeological excavations have shown evidence of human habitation in Canaan from Paleolithic and Mesolithic times. At the site of the ancient city of Jericho, evidence reveals a settled community and an agricultural way of life that has existed since 9000 BCE by a people known as the Natufians. Who are the Natufians? These are the original Canaanites. This is where the original Canaanites came from. And the people found in Lebanon today, most of the population in Lebanon, according to genetic studies, 90% of their genes come from these ancient Canaanites. Only 7% come from Central Europe. You then wonder why Lebanon has been under siege for years. The true Canaanites are the Natufians. According to M.R. Imhotep, the Natufians were the original inhabitants of the Levant and the Fertile Crescent according to their DNA E1b1 haplogroup, which is the main haplogroup of Africans. Canaanite for real.
What more can I say?
Got it!
Nobody with a brain is claiming ancient Egyptians were a white group. No one. Not us, not no one. The point is, they generically looked exactly like modern Egyptians.
Shammai's ethnicity.
Well, they have just told me that Shammai have Nubian features, which means that their ruling family was probably Nubian, and that was unexpected.
Examining Shammai's anatomy closely, the thickness of his bones and the shape of his nasal cavity, the anthropologists think he was a black African, likely from neighboring Nubia. A huge revelation that challenges the prevailing image of the Egyptian ruling class.
Newsflash, the largest DNA study ever done on ancient Egyptians showed that the ancient Egyptians had less sub-Saharan African blood than modern Coptic Egyptians.
Got it!
What does that tell you?
Shammai's ethnicity.
Well, they have just told me that Shammai have Nubian features, which means that their ruling family was probably Nubian, and that was unexpected.
Examining Shammai's anatomy closely, the thickness of his bones and the shape of his nasal cavity, the anthropologists think he was a black African, likely from neighboring Nubia. A huge revelation that challenges the prevailing image of the Egyptian ruling class.
Dalton the Dingbat claims that the Canaanites were black as well, and yet, just like the largest DNA study ever done on ancient Egyptians, DNA debunks his lies again. DNA extracted from 4,000-year-old specimens from ancient Canaan shows that they share 90% of their DNA with modern Lebanese people.
Dr. Henk Anta Diop, the Senegalese scholar on humanity's origins, states the following: if mankind originated in Africa, it was necessarily Negroid, black, before becoming white through mutation and adaptation at the end of the last glaciation ice age in Europe. It is now more understandable why the Grimaud Negroid first occupied Europe for 10,000 years before the Cro-Magnon man, the prototype of the white race, appeared around 2000 BCE to 1000 BCE. Dr. Henk Anta Diop applied Groger's law, which states that warm-blooded animals in hot and humid climate are naturally pigmented. The result, he stated in the book The General History of Africa, was that the earliest humans appearing around 150,000 BCE were ethnically homogeneous and Negroid. Subsequently, movement and migration of this race out of Africa, he maintains, was through the Sahara and the Nile Valley, where the basin in what is now Kemet was our people. You can go and read a lot and study links that we are sharing this video.